I'm Minister of Government Relations, the Minister of Social Services and Housing. My name is Jamie McKenzie, but my real name is James. I'm speaking to you regarding my concerns about safety on for the Minister of Government Relations, the funding they give to paratransit, and we do not have the right to speak out about it. Like, we do not have the right to speak out about it. Like, people with disability do not have the right to speak at City Council or go to the City Council doesn't listen to us or don't have meeting with the disabled community before they make decisions. Like, it's ridiculous. So I've gone to the provincial ombudsman because they have a bylaw in Regina that do not allow us to go to City Council directly to speak. We have to wait for a report to come to committee by administration in Regina before we can speak on it. But this report that I'm waiting for, these reports about paratransit never comes on. Only about the budget. That's all they talk about. They don't talk about how many incidents there have been on paratransit, how many times people couldn't get a bus because the bus was all booked up, how many times you have missed the bus, or how many times the bus has come early, or how many times there's been incidents like mine. On March 31st, 2023, I was being loaded to go to the University of Regina to go to university that day, to go to class. And as we were going up, for some reason, the bus driver saw us happening and he has to stop the lift in the air instead of going back down and fixing the problem. He was trying to fix it in the air, and then all of a sudden my chair, he didn't make sure my chair was shut off, so my chair went off the lift in the mid-air, and lucky it wasn't that high up. I would have been like the guy in Mucho who got killed last year. Like, someone in Mucho got killed on a paratransit bus in Mucho last year. So my concern is right now, my concern with housing is with government of the housing part of your mandate for Minister of Social Services, is Regina Housing might have it on video. My incident of my wheelchair going off the lift, they might have it on video at 2240 Elvis Street. It happened in front of 2240 Elvis Street, and I think it might have been caught on camera. And I don't know if Regina Housing keeps the video very long, but yeah. So that's my main concern is 2240 Elvis Street and Regina Housing not keeping the video for very long. So they should keep it for 2 months or 3 months, then get rid of it if no one responds. Yeah, because right now, yeah, that incident was caught on videotape at Regina Housing. And back, yeah, so I just want something to be done about that, to make sure if there's any incidents that they're reviewed every couple weeks, just to make sure there's nothing on them that, like, outside mostly, because these are where most of the incidents happen. Like, if there's a report, I keep videos for 2 months or 3 months after the incident, just in case they ever come forward. Like, this incident happened on March 21st, around between 9:20 and 9:35, when my chair went off the lift of a between 9:15 to 9:35, where my chair went off the lift of a paratransit bus in the air, and it landed on the ground, and all that. And then getting back to government relations, you guys give funding for paratransit, to paratransit for operations and for new replacement. But you can put restrictions and you can put stuff on there to say you have to talk to the disabled community before you get this funding. You need to make sure you're talking to the disabled community. And right now they don't. They bypass City Council with the contract to First Canada. They just give it back to First Canada without talking to the community, the disabled community. Like they have a rule they can bypass City Council. But as the government, you can say you have to go through City Council before you give a contract to First Canada. You have to have it go through City Council before you give it back to a company like First Canada, so the public can have a say at City Council in front of our councillors and the public. We don't have a say in the contract with First Canada. That's where my concern is. And that's what the ombudsman is. My complaint with the ombudsman was to make sure that they can make a recommendation to the city about the bylaw. That's all they can do. They can make a recommendation about the bylaw that they have that speaks at city council that says you cannot speak at city council. You have to wait. You cannot speak at city council. You have to wait till you have a committee bring a report. You have to wait for administration to bring a report on the item to city council. The thing is, in other cities, they have it on their city council for new items. If a public member wants to speak, they have the right to speak. But in Regina, we don't have that. And those are changes that only the ombudsman can recommend. You guys can't do those kind of things. I understand where your powers are so out there. But at least you can say to the cities, you have to say to Regina, you have to listen to the public. You have to set up meetings and have the contract go through city council before we give you funding, so the public have a say. That's all you can do, is maybe make recommendations like that. You can't do much, I understand. Your hands are tied. But you know what? People's safety is also in the line here. I fell off a lift because I was already filing a complaint with the ombudsman on this issue because I wanted to speak at city council because I was very concerned about this, about safety on paratransit. And I knew I wasn't getting anywhere with the administration, transit administration, paratransit administration. I wasn't getting anywhere with them. They were just saying, oh, we give it to first bus looks into it, and they leave it at that. And first bus sometimes never look into it because it keeps happening. The incidents keep happening. So all I want to see is government legislation to be brought in to say you have to allow the public to have a say, or we will cut some of your funding back. You have to allow the public to have a say in their service. And this is our service. We have the same rights like regular transit according to the Human Rights Commission and all this. I will send you the reports from Human Rights to show you that. Okay? Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.